Hi, my name's Paul Zadro and I'm here with Peter the Chief Graham, and today we're going to be showing you how to wrap hands for an MMA fighter. And there are some distinctive differences in the way to do that. I don't think anybody knows how to wrap hands better, or how they like their hands to be wrapped, more than a professional fighter. And as you can see from the accolades in the background, Peter here is probably one of the top fighters, definitely in this country and perhaps even in the world. So without any further delay, I'm going to hand you over to Peter the Chief Graham.
Thanks, Paul. I guess the easiest thing we need to understand when wrapping hands is an athlete likes their hands wrapped a certain way. Now we've got a boxing glove and a kickboxer, a Thai boxer, boxing way of wrapping hands, and an MMA type of wrapping hands. There's basically three different types of MMA gloves. There's a judo type glove with a thumb, and two MMA type gloves, one with a thumb and one without a thumb. But they all need to be wrapped a little smaller than a boxer. Of course, because most of the time there's less striking, and also the movement in the hands for MMA is super important and not important at all for a boxer, and only very, very small for a Thai boxer and kickboxer. So what we'll do first is we want to take the fighter's hands, and most of the time they're a little bit stressed before a fight, so just massage their hands and just relax him, because the last thing you want to do is that fighter have his hand wrapped and then he goes to relax, it's too tight on his hand and he's going to complain and hurt and have something other to worry about than the fight. So a little bit of a massage first is a good thing to do. What we want to do first is we want to take this gauze, it's an immovable, it doesn't stretch so much, and we're going to place that on the hands first. So what we want to do is after his hands are a little bit relaxed, around the wrist, and we're just going to keep going around. We don't really want to go too hard yet. Just want to cover that hand. Make sure we protect the thumb. We come all the way around. Don't want to go too tight. That's kind of important. Ask your athlete, is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
It doesn't feel too tight?
No, it's good.
And of course, we're wrapping the hands today for an MMA fighter. So it's important to protect the knuckles and the wrist. And some fighters don't like their thumbs done, but today we're going to do Paul's thumb. Okay? So I've covered the knuckles here, and that's important. What I want to do is get a second piece, or sometimes these get a little longer, and we want to make sure those knuckles are protected. And that's really important, because if you get a damaged athlete, they're no good. Won't be able to train, won't be able to fight, and they'll be very grumpy at you for not wrapping their hands properly. So I'm going to build this up a bit. As I said before, we're doing this on a boxing fighter or a Thai boxing fighter. We build this up a lot more. But for now, we're only going to build it up just enough to make sure that his hands are protected at the front of the knuckle. Take some sharp scissors and obviously cut it. We have special scissors here for cutting it off later, but we'll get into that a little bit more a little later. Now there's a few different types. You've got this white tape, and you've got this kind of fleshy colored tape. Either one is good. You don't have to be too specific about that. But what we do want is to make sure that it's not too tight. So we're just going to put this on here and just cover it and make sure that just sticks where it's meant to stick. Again, still asking the athlete that feels okay. Good. What we're going to do now is we're going to make sure it sticks to the hand. So if you just turn your hand over, just under here, put it under, clench it together, the bit on the back here, squeeze here, turn over, and we make sure that's covering the knuckles. Just close your hand for a second, and we put it on. Now, especially within Australia and Oceania, they're really, really specific with how much tape you can put on the knuckles. And that's none. Okay, turn it back over. Turn over. Okay, and the whole time, close your hand. I'm speaking to my athlete. I'm making sure that feels okay. Feels okay still?
Outstanding.
Okay, turn it back over. This takes a bit of practice. This is one of those things that you just got to do. Just go to the gym, get some tape and practice. Turn over, and you'll find some guys get really good at it. Close your hand, and quite enjoy doing it. But you need to have someone who can do it quite competently. Okay, so take the glove now, take the tape, put it on the top, and we're just going to build up the top here. Just swap it over here with the other tape as well, show that there's some differences, but it's not so much that it's really going to be a massive difference. Close your hand. The thumb here, like I said before, if an athlete has an injured thumb, you want to go a little bit more. If he doesn't have an injured thumb, just close it up and a little less. So always building that tape up to protect the hand. Building it up. Close. Open. Open. Close. I'm going to go one way, then the other, in a herringbone shape. It makes the back of the glove, the back of the hand nice and strong. Try to keep it nice and neat. Yeah, so once we've got to this point here, the finest hand is just basically the underneath of it. The structure is good, it feels good. And you notice that there isn't quite a lot of tape at the bottom here yet at all. Okay, quite a little bit. We're going to fix that up now. Okay, close your hand. And there's still quite a lot of movement. And for an MMA fighter, this is super important. Because the last thing you want is when you try to grapple or hold on, is you can't move your hand. Your fingers are stuck out like this, or you've got a whole bunch of gauze over your knuckles, and you got your hand like a boxer. All you can do is this, and you're not going to have any movement. If you're a grappler or a jiu-jitsu guy, it's going to really be annoying. So from here, this is when it's important to make sure that wrist is well protected. Now you want it tight on the top, and not so tight on the bottom. Tight on the top, not so tight on the bottom. And just like before, ask your athlete, does it feel okay? It's not too tight?
No, it's good. Good movement.
Okay. And again, tight over the top, not too tight on the bottom. And you'll find, of course, that some athletes have bigger hands than others, thicker wrists, and we don't want to go too much on one person or too heavy. So, you want to make sure it's nice and firm. Don't want stuff sticking up. What we're going to do now is we're going to grab this stuff here. And I guess this is the biggest innovation in the last couple of years. This kind of seals it off, and it really makes everything tied in so it's nice and tight on the hands. Grab your gloves, your scissors. And this stuff is stretchy. It's kind of a rubbery material, and it sticks to itself and then unsticks. So start at the top here, and what you're doing now is you're just sealing it all in together. And once again, you don't want it too tight, but it needs to be firm. Boxing commissions love this stuff because it neatens everything up and makes it look uniform, and it's very effective, and it's not hard, so they're not going to think you're trying to put plaster of Paris or some other crazy thing on your hand. Okay, speak to your athlete, so close your hand. Okay. Okay, feels good?
Feels great.
Okay. Now we've used the other tape here so you can see that it's important to put it through the knuckles here so it's nice and strong. We don't put it across here too. The boxing commissions won't allow you to do it. The combat sports commissions won't allow you to do it. But if you do have it across here, what their argument is, it's not really that you can hit any harder or do any more damage, but it can actually do damage to your hands. And I tend to agree with them. So close your hands. Okay, open. And close. And then of course now, coming back to where you are, where you started, and just finish off with a neat cut. If you make it look neat within the fight, the Combat Sports Authority will just let you pass. I'll see that, and it's nice and neat, and they'll be happy with that, and they'll be good. But what you want to do is then turn the hand over. You see it's over here, cross the hand. Take your scissors and neaten all that up. Cut off that excess bandage. Okay. These particular scissors, nice and flat at the end here. You're not going to dig into your athlete's hand, which is another way to make him even more grumpy than just before a fight. And cut it out so they have lots of movement within that hand. Now with a boxer, of course, they might not like this as much. Some boxers like to have a lot of tape just here, something to hold on to. And of course for MMA, they're not going to want that most of the time. This also seems to get a little tight just here, so I'll ask your athlete, it's not too tight on your hand, is it, Paul?
Yeah, a little maybe there.
Okay, so that's a fairly normal thing. So we just want to tip our scissors under here and just cut just a little bit. We still want that support, and just cut out a little bit of a fraction, and you know.
Yeah, much better.
Much better, good. Okay. And pretty much that's as good as we need to pass the ABA, or the Combat Sports Authority. So close that hand.
Yeah, it's good.
Good.
I got good support right on the wrist. My knuckles feel padded. I don't think my thumb could be damaged too much, and I still got, great movement.
So then if we're going to put on a glove here, judo glove, just ask the athlete to put the glove on. Most of the times it should feel that he has lots of movement.
Perfect.
Should be able to box hard. Unlike a boxing glove, he should be able to put it on himself. Okay. Still got lots of movement in the hand here. He's got something to hold on. It's not restricting, protecting his hands. But most importantly, the back of the hands is where people get damaged, not at the front. And that's got to be nice and tight. And the way we did that herringbone with the tape is super important. Thank you very much. I'm Peter Graham. They call me the Chief for IMC. Anything else you'd like to add, Paul?
Yeah, just if you've got these special scissors, when this is all said and done, well, you can do it. These are great for removing the bandage, because I've seen guys use scalpels, I've seen them use these scissors, and I've seen guys get their veins cut as well. So if you watch Peter, he's going to remove this for me.
Nice flat end, as we said before. Just under here. Just take it slow. And just slowly come under. If you've got good quality scissors, it's going to make it a lot easier. Once again, talk to your athlete. Not cutting your wrist there, am I, Paul?
Not yet.
Not yet. You can hear their confidence. Okay, fairly easy. Cuts right off. Because really the first thing you want to do after you get back in the change room is take these off. Then it'll come off fairly easy without injuring the athlete.
Okay, so in our next video we'll be showing you how to wrap hands for a kickboxer, which is a slightly different method. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, guys.